Welcome, Tanglers. I'm Annie, and I have some really exciting news to share with you today. We are moving from our beautiful Estes Park, Colorado, to the idyllic, lush green foothills of the Austrian Alps this spring. I'm talking to you today because I want to let you know that because of this move and all that goes into dealing with an international move, I'm going to have to take a bit of a hiatus from doing my tutorials. But you will see me again for sure once we get settled. That should be in May. But I do want to share with you a new tangle that I've developed called Swansong. I'm calling it that because though this is not my last gig before retirement, it is my last tutorial here in Colorado until I get settled in Austria. Not only that, this tangle was inspired by a wrought iron fence that I saw last summer when I was visiting Austria. It lined the sidewalk that leads up to the castle Plankenstein that I've also done a tutorial on. You can go back in the August tutorials and look at that. As you must know, going to Austria means so much for me in terms of inspiration. I just love the culture, the art, and the environment and the nature there, just as I do Colorado. But this is a new chapter in our lives, and we're very excited. So I hope you continue to stay with me on our tutorials. If you've already done all my tutorials, I would suggest you get on my website and look at my video classes that you can purchase or watch for my upcoming online classes that I will be offering once we get settled. So without further ado, let's go and learn Swansong. Okay, Tanglers, so this is my tangle tag that has the step out of my new tangle Swansong. And I will be showing that to you along with some other ideas for how to use Swansong. I would like you to note that it is from a very special fence that I saw in Austria last year, and I'm going to be obviously posting that here for you to see. And I'm going to do this on a little tile, a Bijou tile, because I don't have a lot of time these days. I am trying to pack up and sell our stuff and get containers and figure out how to chip our dog and send her to Austria. And I'm just totally overwhelmed right now. But this is a really fun tangle that I think you're going to like, and you can maybe inspire me and do fun things with it and show me on our Annie's Botangle alumni student Facebook page to lift my heart in the midst of all of this horrific moving experience. So Swansong is really looking a lot like a swan, and although I go for it just with my pen right off the bat, if you want to pencil out your little swan S, make sure you get it kind of just like you want it, go ahead and do that. Notice that I'm leaving a little bit of space up here at the top of my tangle or tile, and then I'm going to bow out pretty far and make this kind of spiral in the tail. So if you do that, that's great, and you can clean that up obviously with an eraser. You don't have to, you can go right for it if you'd like to. And I'm going to go ahead and pin that in. So there would be my first stroke. It's basically an S with a very small head and a big belly, and then this swirl in the middle. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my second step, which is starting here on the inside. I'm going to do an aura line. And then I'm going to meet up with this scroll with a smaller scroll according to the fence. I'm going to take off here and do another scroll. And then I'm going to start here and aura again, all the way around. Whoops. You can fix that with a little bit of a gel pen if you'd like. And then I'm going to do the wing of my swan. Basically, it's 4 lines with the aura beginning pretty much in the center here. And then since there are so many aura lines here going on, I'm going to go ahead and do another aura line around the top of my S. Like that. That is my swan song. And then I like to weight my lines, and I'm going to weight the midrib of this swan song. And of course yours might be a little bit neater than mine. I have to tell you, it's evening here. I'm trying to get this done so that I can give you something before I quit. Until I have a chance to get back to you when I'm in Austria. So there's that. And I'm going to add this little bit of white here. So already that's looking better. And then I would like to add some weighted line in one of these. Maybe even in 2. Right here where that center is. That is Swan Song. And now I just want to show you how I do show you in my step out here, and you can take a snapshot of it, how I would shade just the simple swan song, right? After I've done some of that line weighting. But I would like to continue on with you today and fill it out with what I think is a fun way to do this. Let me say first of all that when I was working this up, I did look at it as kind of a fragment. Here, just like the fence that I showed you, you can do it just in a row with the same orientation. Here I made a circle and I divided it into 4, and each of the 4 is a mirror image of the swan song. So you can see here, this is mirroring, this is one swan song, and then this goes the opposite direction. And then we did that on that either side. So in a circle, it could be a really pretty mandala, right? You could also add lots of different tangles in here, like we're going to do now. So on this one, I'm always drawing back on my good old henna drum. So let's do a henna drum right here. I'm weighting the line here a little bit. And let's do another henna drum in here. So I'm just continuing doing these henna drums here, drawing always behind and just filling up that space. Add a little bit of fun with a toodles in here. And then let's see. I think I'd like to add a few little fescues here and there. And then there's a lovely little tangle called Damsel, and I'm going to add that as well. Damsel is kind of one of those organic tangles that's a really great filler. Let me just add this here. I'm going to put one right here. I'm going to go like this. This little leafy form. Isn't that pretty? I think I'm going to just leave some room down there for my chop. I like to, when these flowers overlap, I like to really weight that overlap ridge like this. Okay, let's see, maybe I'll do one of these cute little damsels in here. And then a third here because threes are always a good thing. A few fescues and some more weighted line. And then we'll go on to shade this. Isn't that pretty? Let's make this nice and prominent. And this is how I would shade. I'm going to get out one of my soft graphite pencils. I've got a 3B here. 2B works really well. Even an F would work. And I'm going to shade my toodles. I've got my tortillion to blend the shading. And then on the henna drums, I always like to put some graphite along this edge and pull it out into the petals, always leaving it light at the top. I'm going to do that. Oops, I see I forgot to put some of the strokes in my petal here. Notice how where these petals overlap, I'm going to give some nice dark darks there and here as well. Here. Blend that out. Got one more here. One more here. Really dark up here. And then we want to shade in our swan song. So how would I do that? I'm going to put some graphite here and at the tip and leave a little bit of a highlight in the curve. And here I'm going to pick up this almost as if it's a frame around these henna drums. I'm going to get really dark. Here too. And then also in here. And then we'll blend. Actually, this should not be in shadow. Only this part. I think I see one more thing here I should have done. That's okay. I need to add another line here. And then to emphasize the S shape here, I'm also going to add a little bit of graphite around here and blend that out. And you really see that S. S for swan song. And that would be swan song. I hope you have fun with this and try it out as a fragment. Try it out with reflections and ribbons and all kinds of other things that you can add inside the actual swan itself. Thanks for joining me today. I hope to see you in May, or even maybe even sooner if I can get set up faster than that. Don't forget always to put your chop on your little tile and sign the back and date it, and you will be happy in the future. Thanks again. See you next time. That's it for today's tangle. Thanks for joining me. If you like these lunchtime tutorials, please give them a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also invite you to check out my website for classes that I have scheduled or to purchase my tangle tags for your favorite step outs. That's Botangle.net. I'm leaving you with some other links too. Zentangle.com, where you can learn more about the Zentangle method from its founders, Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. You can also visit their store there for a multitude of Zentangle paper tiles, tools, books, and kits. Tanglepatterns.com is that site I talk about where you can explore hundreds of tangle patterns, read about them, and get the step out, which is basically the deconstruction of the pattern. And finally, if you'd like to share your beautiful results with me and my student community, please join Annie's Botangle Alumni Facebook page. We're a private group where we inspire each other with our work and offer tips and useful information about art and Zentangle.